Hey business owners, today we are going to walk through how to set up an API connection. So an API connection is needed when you are trying to set up your lead generation system. You have to have a connection between your site builder and your email marketing provider. So that is what an API connection does. It enables those two groups to talk. So if you're using a site builder, like I'm using Thrive Suite right now, if you're not using Thrive Suite, you might be using something like Elementor or Divi or Beaver Builder. Any WordPress site builder will do for this exercise. So you don't necessarily have to use Thrive Suite. If you're interested, if you don't have a site builder and you're interested in building your site on Thrive Suite, or you want to use any of the tools that come with Thrive Suite, some of them are sold separately, so you don't have to get the whole package. If you're interested in the lead generation portion of Thrive Suite, I will put links to that below this video so that you can check it out. But let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you just how easy it is to use Thrive Suite. And if you have any other site builder that you're using, you can follow along using the tool of your choice. So this is our opt-in form, and this opt-in form is very simple. It's basically, going to require the user, and let me just kind of back up. So this is an opt-in form for our worksheet pack. So I put together this worksheet pack so that my users, anyone that wants to opt in, can get these free worksheets to create better offers. So offers are the heart of your business. If you don't have good offers, or they're laid out in some way that's kind of hokey or clunky, or just doesn't work, if you're not making that connection with your ideal customers, then you're going to have a hard time selling. And so I put together this very small pack. It's 8 worksheets, but it's packed with information because it has links to the details. So if you're on a page that is about social media, you're going to have a link on that page that will take you to more information about how social media works and how you can set it up to get the most out of it for your business. So lots of great information packed into these worksheets. And when you go through the worksheet, it's really going to help you focus in on those things that you need to focus on so that you can make a better connection and sell more products. So people who want to opt in can get this for free, and all they have to do is provide their first name if they would like. It's optional. But their email address, the email address is required in order to get these forms. So this is the only thing that we're going to be dealing with to set up our API connection, because this is where the data will need to be transferred from Thrive Suite to my email marketing provider. And I have Aweber as my email marketing provider for the sake of this video. So before we get started with actually setting up the connection, I want to take you over to my Thrive dashboard, and I want to show you the active connections, the active API connections that I have. So if you have a tool like Thrive Suite, it probably already integrates with tools like Aweber, MailChimp. I also use Brevo. I used to use Sendinblue, and then Sendinblue was bought out by this company called Brevo. So I use Brevo, I use MailChimp, and I use Aweber. And I'm able to set up all of those API connections right here on Thrive Themes. So I also have an API connection with WordPress. So if I wanted, for example, to set up some kind of HTML, and I'll show you the HTML option, but you can set up, and if you're really good with HTML, then you might want to set up a connection between WordPress and HTML so that you can get your email subscribers through your own personal email. I don't really recommend that. I think that that is probably going to be hard for you to manage. It's going to be clunky. It's not going to be easy for you to send out emails. And so for that reason, I think that setting up an API connection with a company that specializes in email marketing is going to be a better bet. And most of the email marketing companies that are out there will give you a certain number of subscribers that you can get before they start charging you. So most of these email marketing companies have free plans. MailChimp does, Brevo does, and so does Aweber. So you're not going to have to pay, if you don't want to set up a paid account, you're not going to have to pay right off the bat from the very beginning. So we're going to test out my connection with Aweber just so that you can see that it's a valid connection. So in order to do that, all we need to do is just click on this little icon, and it's going to pop up. It's going to say test. Now, if we wanted to edit our connection, we would click on this button. If we wanted to delete our Aweber connection, we would click on this button. But we're just going to test it just so that I can show you that it is a valid connection. So you can see right here, it says connection works. So now we're good to go. We're going to go back to our form, and we're going to go ahead and set that connection up. Now, just to show you how easy it is to set up an opt-in form, I'm going to take you over to Thrive Suite. This is how it looks in Thrive Suite when you want to add an element to what it is that you're working on. So we're going to add an opt-in form element, and all you need to do is click on the Add Element button. So we're going to click on that, and then in this little space here at the top, we're going to type in lead, and it's going to bring up the lead generation element. So all I'm going to do is take that, drag it over, put it where I want it on the page, and then I'm going to let it go. Now, as you can see, it says lead generation. So it's not going to say opt-in form, it's going to say lead generation. And all you want to do is just let go, and it's going to give you all the different options you have for opt-in forms. So I'm going to click on opt-in forms, and as you can see, there are 10 there. If you want to submit, or you want people to fill out an application and submit it to work with you or something like that, there's 6 application forms, and then they also have contact forms. But in this case, we're going to use opt-in forms. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to select the opt-in form that I want. So, and I mean, some of these opt-in forms are really complicated. The thing that I can tell you is that when you have an opt-in form, less is better. So what that means is you only want to ask for the information that you absolutely need. So in this case, we're going to ask for the name and the email address. So this is the form that was just dropped on the page. This is our new form. And as you can see, it looks exactly, well, not exactly, but it's pretty close to the form that was already on the page. So I'm going to get rid of this. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to add this opt-in form to any page that you might be working on. And this form, this opt-in form, is all you need to generate leads. So if you want to drag and drop this onto a blog post, a sales page, a landing page, anything that you're working on in Thrive Suite, you're going to be able to do that very easily. So now we're going to go over and we are going to add our API connection. So as you can see, you have an HTML option that you can select from, and you have an API connection. So if you know HTML really well, like you're really good with it, you can insert your code right here. You can cut it and paste it right into that form. I'm not going to do that. That is really not something that I would recommend, because when you use this option, that means that you have to manage all of those email addresses and all of the first names. So that can be very cumbersome. And when you get ready to send out your emails, that's also going to be kind of hard for you to send out emails without sharing, everyone who is on your list. People who are on your list don't want to share their email address with everyone who is on your list. So when you have an API connection and you let your email marketing provider handle it, then when your emails go out, they're going to look professional, and all those email addresses are going to be private so that no one knows, all the people in the email list. So now we're gonna make our connection. Now I have Aweber selected, and I've just shown you that Aweber is a very good connection. It was green. It said the connection was good. So we're gonna use that. I'm gonna take it out of here because I want to show you how to get this set up. So we have removed our API connection that we had in here before, and we're just gonna pretend like I just put this form on the page, and now we're going to go over and just set up that connection. So you want to make sure, number one, that your form is selected, and you're going to know that your form in Thrive Suite, you're going to know the form is selected because it's green. Okay, so that shows you that it is active and it is green. So now we're going to add, we're going to click on API, and then we're going to click on the green button that says Add Connection. So we're going to choose the connection that we want, and we're going to click on the drop down, and that drop down is going to show us all of our options. So we have email, we have Aweber, MailChimp, Brevo, and WordPress. We also have Thrive Ovation. We're going to select Aweber, and so now our API connection has been set, and we can choose our email list. So say for instance, if in Aweber I had like 5 different email lists, so I can set this up so that all of my email lists will show up right here. So if I had an email list, for example, for people who are new members, or I had an email list for people who are interested in a certain topic, or if I wanted to segment out my subscribers in a certain way, I can do it using different email lists. I can also do it using tags. So if you want to have just one big email list, and then you want to maybe break things out by tags, you can certainly do that. So, but anyway, our API connection has been set. Now all we need to do is click on the apply button. So let's click on apply, and as you can see, it says API successfully added. So now we know that our API connection has been added to this form, and every time someone fills this out and hits this button that says send my newsletter, or my worksheets rather, they are going to be added to my Aweber list. Okay, so that is pretty much it. We have our connection established, and we are good to go. Now there's one more thing that you might want to consider doing, and that is redirecting. Once someone submits their information, their form, they've clicked on the submit button, they're on their way to get their worksheets, right? But in order for them to get their worksheets, you can set this up so that instead of them just being sent over to get their worksheets, they are actually sent to a thank you page. So if you want to send someone to a thank you page, you can do that by setting up a connection between the thank you page and this page. And the way you do that is through a redirect. So you would actually get the thank you page, and I'm just gonna show you really quickly what this thank you page looks like. So we've made up a thank you page for this particular offer. So here's our thank you page. It says, thank you for subscribing. Here are the worksheets. Click the button to download your audience attraction worksheets. And so when they click on this button, they're going to be able to get their worksheets. So that is a thank you page that, number one, helps to start the relationship between you and your ideal customers. It gives them that additional, just kind of like a courtesy that, you're saying thank you, you're giving them their worksheets, and now they're able to get them downloaded, and they will be able to move on and start using those worksheets. You can add other stuff to your thank you page that lets them know where they can go to get support. If you want them to join maybe a Facebook group, you can add that kind of information. If you want them to follow your podcast or your YouTube channel, you can put that on a thank you page. Lots of different things that you can do, but this is, just one of the ways that you can set up. Once you have that API connection set up, then you can redirect someone to a thank you page. So all you would need to do is you would go over and you would get the website link for this thank you page, and you would enter it into this slot right here. So you would just, paste. Let's see if I can, let's see. Okay, so offers that attract confirmation. I think that's what I named this. So then that's going to put the link right there in that form. And again, you would want to save your work. So you would click on save. And then that would be it. So, this whole process has taken about 16 minutes with all my explanations and taking you around the different parts of my site just so that you can see how all of this works together. But when you set up an API connection, it's only going to take you about 5 minutes to do so. So I hope that this has been helpful, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Please make sure to, if you receive value, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also check out our podcast, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great day. Have a great week. Make it productive.